The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Anthony Dorsett, DeMontre Moore, and Newy Scruggs.
This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming, and we are back here on a Wednesday, hump day. DeMontre Moore.
I'm here, that's me.
I got it right today, right?
Yes, sir.
DeMontre Moore, Anthony Dorsett. We are short Newy Scruggs, and we are short Barry Church. That's what rich people do. They just can go and do as they please when they want. I am Jesse Holly, a.k.a. Salt and Pepper Poppy, running the show today. Fellas, what's up, man? What's good? On Wednesdays, I normally ask my co-hosts on Hanging with the Boys, that's our how's your mentals and your dentals day. Mm-hmm. That's what I always say. So we good? You guys having a good day, good week?
Good game, man. I'm doing good. I played my game Ghost of Yeti, so I'm excited right now,
I have
man.
no idea what that is.
I'm doing good, man. The dental though, I'm up for root canal.
Ooh.
Yeah, anybody ever had one?
I did.
Yes.
Hey, what'd he say? Peace be still, brother. What'd he say? Glad it ain't me.
Yeah,
Hey.
but the mental is good. The mental is good.
Good.
What about you, brother?
I'm good, man. My dentals is good. My mentals is good.
Yeah.
It's been a good week. I've enjoyed coming to kick it with you guys this week. I really have.
Stay a little longer, man.
Nah, can't do that.
That's what I already know.
Can't do that. Can't do that.
Why can't you do it?
Can't do that.
That's no problem. That's no problem.
That ain't a problem. No, but I do enjoy coming to kick it with you guys because, for me, I get to change seats, right? Because on my show, a lot of times I get to do the bulk of the talking and stuff like that. And then on this seat, I do like hosting at times. I do like being able to sit in this seat. It keeps my mind sharp. It makes me have to prepare extra because I have to make sure that I'm able to give out the things to you guys, right? And so, like, it always keeps my mind going. It keeps my mind sharp. It gives me, and like we all know, in sports, the more you can do.
Hey, boy, show your value.
The more you can do.
Stay in the building longer.
I always tell people, listen, anybody's replaceable, but it's going to take 4 people to do what I do. So you might as well just keep the one.
There it is.
Instead of having to go get 4.
Hey, I'm trying to be like you, man.
That's what I want to be
all the
like
time. I'm trying to be
Listen,
like
man.
you. You just got you don't give no secrets though.
Yeah.
He ain't giving out no layups and he ain't giving out no secrets.
What he say? Devil's advocate.
Back me up now.
He has been tutoring your boy.
Back me
this
up
week.
now.
So I
Back
will
me up
say
now.
I
I
appreciate
was just
that.
trying to give him a hard time.
You know what I'm saying? Back me up a little bit.
He gave me that look like you better tell him.
I'm
I'm good or I ain't gonna answer your phone
man.
call no more.
Like, listen,
I'm
I'm an advocate of helping out my people when I can, all I can, because it does me no good to keep the information to myself. And as many, I want to build a tree. I want to be able to be like, man, I got up here and I helped so and so and so and so and so and so, because you never know. One day that person might be up here, and I might be like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
They tell you you see the same people going up.
On the way down.
Coming down, yeah.
coming back
And I want to
down,
make
yeah.
sure I'm good going up, and I'm good coming down. Because somebody might like, yo, come on in here right quick, Jay Holly. You were good to me 4 years ago when I was on my way up. So yeah, man. All right. Coach Schottenheimer spoke for the first time today as the Cowboys are starting to come back and do a little bit kind of, getting back to normalcy, right? And I didn't hear it all, but I was talking to Chris in the back a little bit, and, this has been on my mind for a couple of days now because Coach Schotty, in his position, head coach, that already entails that's personnel. That's who's in the game, who's out the game, who's hurt, who's on the way back. While earlier they were working out guys, right? Yeah. So are we bringing guys in? Are we bringing guys out? What the rotation gonna look like offensively, defensively? Then I have to worry about being the offensive coordinator, right? What game plan I'm going to be putting in. I'm watching the film on the Raiders defense. And then now, he's been kind of going across the hall a little bit to the defensive side, trying to get them back on track, giving an offensive perspective of how they should better help run their game. And then you're dealt with this extremely unique situation, terrible situation. And then now he has to kind of take he wears a visor. He got to take one visor off as head coach and now put the other visor on as almost like pseudo dad, right? Counselor to 60 plus players and coaching staff, right? And so that in itself sounds like it'll wear you down.
He might be half Jamaican, right?
You know what I'm saying? Like it truly wears you down. And so, maybe kind of getting back into the routine of things of meetings and practice, that thing that you're used to, right? The muscle memory of it all is probably crucial for him and for this football team. But nonetheless, they take on the Vegas Raiders, and just from a player's perspective, this is the Players Lounge. How do you help your head coach if you're a veteran guy in the locker room? How do you help your coach in this moment of saying, Coach, we got you over here? Like, you don't have to worry about this group. You don't have to worry about that group. Like, how do you go about that? If you're a veteran playing in the locker room, how do you go about helping Coach Schottenheimer in this moment?
I mean, and just by what you said, first of all, if you got that relationship, and even if you don't, if you're that vet and you have that voice, you go let him know, like, hey, man, like anything that I could do to ease some of this off you right now, and then don't even worry about it. We're going to be policing ourselves amongst ourselves in the locker room and on the field, because, just with everybody, with just like you said, with all those different things he has to worry about right now, this doesn't fall on him that those worries are there, and losing Marshawn and everything else like that. These guys want to go out there at the same time, and they want to heal from it too, and they want to try to keep moving things in the right direction. So that being said, the focus, of course, is going to be for the guys to come together and let him know, like, hey, Coach, we got it. We're going to step up. We're going to man up. We're going to do everything that we can to, and it's not just about lightening the load for him. It's just about lightening the load for everybody. We know that, and this goes on to say, winning brings about an environment for all great things to happen. And of course, if you're able to go out there and to come off of this situation, off this bye week and off of this struggling week these 2 weeks that they've had, and actually go out there and create a W, get a win, I mean, that's going to do a number of things for this building as far as with the record, number one, but then just the morale that's going around and everything else like that, and to lift the spirits in the building. So, just being that vet and just letting him know. But a lot of times it just goes on without even having to be said. Actions speak louder than words. So, just letting him know you're there and just going out there and perform is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah, man. As far as being that vet, I think about what you said. He taking one hat off. He's going from coach. But then what you said, AD, that title, or figuratively speaking, that hat goes from being a father figure for a lot of these guys that are young, that are still into that. But not only being a father figure, you're going to be a brother to some of these guys. If you're a true vet and you've been around the league, I think about guys that are 10, 11 years in. Dak Prescott, like, you might not see him as a father figure, but you might see him as that older big brother that you talk to. But regardless of what you see, the title doesn't change what the connection is, and it's family. When we go over there, we say it's us against the world. And for us to come in there, sometimes, guess what? It's the head of the family and the dad that controls everything. But guess what? You got your mom over here doing this. You got your brother over here and your son. It's a job that's not just on him. He sets the precedent, he leads it, but also that leader needs help sometime. And so you're going to have your vets coming in there taking ownership. You might see some people coming in here a couple hours earlier, 30 minutes earlier. Hey, Coach, how's today going? Are you good today? Cool. If you need me to help, that's where your good vet comes in, and say he stumbles on a word or something like that. Or he might just suggest after the day, be like, this is going to be their first real work day, if I'm not mistaken, coming into the building, right? After the bye week, they had the meetings on Monday. Tuesday was a break. Wednesday, they might do some running around. Well, now you're going to have your good vets that come in there and say, hey, coach, energy is there. We're ready for the Raiders. Or they're going to say, hey, coach, locker room is not there, so how can we pick it up? And Shoddy, being a good players coach, coming in here, galvanizing the troop, that's where he's going to make the adjustments. So just like we say, the back end got to help the front end help the back. Well, that goes from the top up. Ownership got to help the coaches, and the coaches got to help the players, the players got to help the janitors, everybody that was in here, because you got to remember, this is a big thing that you're dealing with. Like these people, the people that cook for you every day that's used to seeing you, my girl, Miss Rachel over there, all these people are family. So it's not just the players. You have to do the whole environment. And so it's going to take everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now they're back. They're scheduled to get back on the practice field tomorrow. But Coach Shoddy said spoke today. You see guys kind of trickling in and out throughout the entire day. Yeah, it's again very, very unique situation, a very unique set of circumstances that guys have to go into this week and figure out a way, right? Because the norm is getting back and playing the game. It's the practice, it's the meetings.
Yeah.
Minus your brother, but it is that sometimes is the bubble in which you prefer to be in.
Yeah.
Because it's so common to you.
Yes.
I mean, we're able to compartmentalize so many things as professional athletes because you have to be hyper focused.
Yeah.
But then at the same time be able to basically multitask a million of different things. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to sometimes to sit back and to think about, like, in situations like this, let people know that we're just not athletes. We are actually human at the same time. And with the multitudes of things that we have to deal with on the field, from the play calling to schemes to contracts to whatever the case may be, like, you still got to live life.
Yeah.
And life is happening regardless.
Yeah, it is. It is. And go ahead. You got something?
And as life is happening, the one thing, like how you said, we're so compartmentalized. Like I mentioned that I went to the NFL Trust this past weekend to go do the brain and body thing. But when they talk to you, they say, man, we've been doing this for such a long time. Some people 5+ years, thinking about your tenure in college, 4 years, not to mention Little League. You've been doing this over a decade. You're conditioned. Like we're creatures of habit. And for you to go in there, what's the one thing we always hear in football? Next man up. And unfortunately, it sounds really bad, but it's the best thing in this, because you got to try to get back to normalcy as fast as you can. And so when they go into practice, when they go out there and work hard, that's going to feel normal. It's the after effects. It's when you get tired of practice and you come in there, and that part of, even though we're so focused and detail oriented, that part after that is going to be the hindrance. And so that's where you fill in your extra time. And so I wonder, how is Shoddy going to implement that? Him being around guys like Pete Carroll. When I experienced Pete Carroll, he was one of the best of attacking the player he attacked the mindset so he can better the player. And with Shoddy being under that coaching tree, his dad being who he is, I'm really excited to see how he's going to galvanize this troop. Pressure bust pipes or make diamonds, so we'll see.
There it is.
All right, so what we'll do is, Chris, we'll take an early break right here, and then when we come back, I want to get into the game. I want to talk about a little bit about Vegas. I want to talk a little bit about the Cowboys, and for me, looking at the Vegas defense, right? How do you stop 98? How do you stop Max Crosby? Everyone wanted him on this team, wanted him to be traded for. He didn't get happen. Now you have to face him. I want to talk about the game plan you guys think the Cowboys should come up with to stop Max Crosby. This is the Players Lounge. Stay right here with us. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
Crown Royal and the Dallas Cowboys are bringing back the Royal Rig for Season 2. See it in action at AT&T Stadium on Thanksgiving Day, where the Dallas Cowboys take on the Kansas City Chiefs, and around Dallas on November 26th and November 28th. Visit crownroyal.com to see where else the Royal Rig is stopping this NFL season. That's crownroyal.com. Please drink responsibly.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Returning for the 2025 NFL season, Boss reunites with the Dallas Cowboys to drop the next chapter of their iconic collaboration. The Boss Cowboys collection fuses fashion and football once again, capturing the fearless spirit of what it means to be your own boss. Just in time for kickoff, gear up in standout styles that show your team pride with a bold edge. Available now at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, HugoBoss.com, and Boss retail stores. # be your own boss.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Celebrate the season at the Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant at the Star in Frisco. Join us every Friday through Saturday night from here to November 21st to December 20th. You heard me right. Let me say it again if you missed it. November 21st through December 20th for electrifying holiday performance. For detail, visit thestardistrict.com.
Yeah.
This is the Players Lounge brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. I am Jesse Holly. To my radio left is DeMontre Moore. To my radio right is Anthony Dorsett. The Cowboys are set for another Monday night football game. Prime time.
Prime time, baby.
Prime time. The Cowboys will play a couple prime time games. It will include Thanksgiving in the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And
time lineup.
This game, again, we've already talked about all the unique circumstances that come along with what this week is. And this Vegas football team, when you start to look at them and break them down, we always look at the record and see the record first. And you understand, like, that's, in the words of the great Bill Parcells, you are what your record says you are. And then you go and you watch a little bit of the film and you watch a little bit of tape and you go, okay, 2-7. Okay.
Why you say it like that, bruh?
But because there is a when you look at what they do defensively, they're not a bad. They're a better defense than we have. Like
I was about to say.
Like right now, they're middle of the league. And
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have asked for.
They give up a lot of passing
Yeah,
yards.
if the Cowboys can just get to the middle of the pack with that level of offense, then they'll be significantly better. The problem is with the Raiders that offensively, they didn't think that Geno would be this Geno.
Right.
This Geno wasn't what Pete Carroll and company anticipated him coming over from Seattle. But the main catalyst on that defense for the Vegas Raiders is number 98, Max Crosby.
Mm-hmm.
And so he is, and you guys know this, right? I try to tell fans all the time, they got iPads now, but when I was in the league, they had playbooks, right? And so you get your game plan playbook every single week, and when you open it up, if you're an offensive player, you open it up. At the top of the first page, they had the guys that you had to worry about. I know defense, same thing. You open yours up, there's 3 guys at the top. You were like, these are the guys that we got to focus on and we got to watch, and we going to game plan around these dudes. Well, for the Vegas Raiders, when Shoddy and that offense walks into that meeting room, they're going to open up their iPads, or he's going to get on the big screen, and the first name that he's going to put up there in bold letters and with a picture up there is going to be Max Crosby. You think about, you talk about, premier pass rushers and defensive edge rushers in general in the league. You think of Myles Garrett, you think of Micah Parsons, Max Crosby, TJ Watt.
I was about to say TJ.
Right? Like, those are the names that and then you can kind of argue about who else you want to put where, but
Yeah.
those 4 names, and Max is always in that conversation, both in the run and in the pass.
Yeah.
He's talented. He has a motor. He's the leader. He's the heartbeat of that defense.
Face of the franchise.
Face of the franchise.
Part of that team.
So when you see the way that the Cowboys have been playing with and he primarily lines up on the defensive left side, offensive right side. And we know what that brings. That brings Terrence Steele, or as Coach Schottenheimer and Connor Riley and company have said, we're going to have some competition at the right tackle position. So that's either going to be Nate Thomas or it's going to be Terrence Steele. How would you propose that the Cowboys prepare and try to maintain a guy like Max Crosby?
Man, it's hard to do that. What do you say? He go get his, but it's just about eliminating how much he get his, which the best way with your pass rushers and guys like him, players of his caliber, running back chips, tight end guys that come over there playing in the off tight end formation. The movement that you have on the play action pass, that's going to slow him down, having people motion across, actually have him thinking, because not only is he the face of the defense, he does a lot of thinking. He's almost your general that's over there calling out the plays before you get there. And for him, it's not that he's the talented or the most talented as far as having the best get off or having a plethora of moves. His best asset is his effort, not being able to die. So when you say prepare this week, if I'm the coach, I'm going in there, I'm turning the noise up loud, and I'm going to have them doing a lot of hurry up. I need you to get back on the ball. Try to make this guy tired, because he's not going to get tired. And right now, that's the best way to help your offensive tackles right now, is to have them cardiovascular in them ready to go.
So, and I'm gonna get to you in a second, AD. I want to stay here because you played along the defensive line, and they lined up Max. Like I said, his primary spot is on the left side over the right tackle, but they line him up in the middle, line him up on the right side. They line him up. They line him up everywhere. They line him up all over that offensive line. Is in your experience, do you see lines sliding his way, sliding the whole protection his way wherever he's lined up at? Because you can't really chip or double if he's lined up over in the A gaps or something like that. So like, what, from a defensive perspective, how will some offensive lines, or how would the Cowboys offensive line do that when he moves around?
If I was an offensive minded coach thinking on attacking this guy, you don't have to worry about two bookends. So you don't have to worry about, with this guy and him being the playmaker like that, you're going to see a lot of full man slides that way. You're going to see a lot of run on the motion. You have Geno Smith back there that's a mobile quarterback. So you're going to kind of tell Geno, hey, you move away.
You mean Dak?
I'm sorry. I said Dak, yes. With Dak, I'm going to sit there and have Dak moving on the run with the play action pass, having your motions going over there to slow down and just get away from him. It's not like you have somebody at nose tackle that's dominant right here, that's a perennial Pro Bowler. It's just going right there for him. So that's going to be the difficulty. But also with that, you're eliminating yourself. Our tight end right now, he's balling right now. And for us to use him in as a blocker, you're going to call on George Pickens, CD, the running back. Y'all got to step up. There's going to be more opportunities. So it's a double-headed sword. But the best way to do it, full slide with one guy on your D-line versus having two or three guys.
You know, I being that I never had to put my hand in dirt and play that position, I definitely agree with what Trey's saying. But another thing that you got to do, too, as well, you got to give the offense a chance to strike him. So you got to run the ball, all right? And, and then the thing about, running the ball with him, of course, and why I say that, because, of course, everybody at home, offensive pass set is more so of a catch thing. Offensive lineman stepping back, catching the blocks, trying to, keep him away from the quarterback. At the point where we're running the ball, the Cowboys are running the ball, that offensive lineman gets to come off the ball and, lay some leather on somebody across from him. So you definitely want to try to do that, because, of course, that's going to wear and tear on him, too, as well. You get into some tricky situations, and that's one of the reasons I think that we haven't seen a lot of the young backs here, because once you start trying to bring backs in to help with pass protection and things like that, it doesn't seem like, I can't speak for it myself, but, your backs have to be good at pass protection when you're leaving them in, all right? And just like you said, with Ferg balling the way that he's been balling, you don't want to keep him inside so much just to help trying to keep Crosby away from getting to the quarterback. So the thing is going to be, like I said, run, get the ball out of Dak's hands as fast as possible. No more long routes that are materializing. It's going to take 4 seconds or whatever. Get that ball out in 2 seconds, however many seconds you need to get it out, and keep trying to move the ball like that. But like he said, that dude is a straight hustle guy. He got pass rush moves and everything else like that, but his will to win is one of his greatest assets. So, when you play against people like that, it's going to be a long day regardless.
When you talked about running the ball at Max Crosby and just running the ball in general, a stat to kind of go with that, the Cowboys are 3-0-1 when Javonte Williams has 100 yards from scrimmage, and they're 0-5 when he doesn't.
See?
So I think that is also important and critical, in it all. Now, when I went back and I was watching a little bit of the Broncos game that they played, and they fared well against the Broncos. They held the Broncos, I think, to 10 points, 220 yards, of offense. It's kind of a lot of teams have come and played the Cowboys and looked like world beaters, and then they go on to the next game after the Cowboys, and they look very, very, very mundane and average, right? But was that what we saw against Denver from this defense? Does that worry you a little bit when it comes up to the Cowboys offense, because it's kind of been staggering the last couple of weeks?
I think of, like, when Nui's here, we always say certain styles make fights and everything else like that. That's a team, they play each other twice a year, every year.
Yeah.
They're more than familiar with each other. So when it comes down to it, I think that played into it a little bit at the same time.
And their team is built like normally you build your team to beat the guys in your division.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that was definitely a benefit for the Raiders that night. I think that was such a low-scoring game. I can't remember what the score was, but I know, and going into those games, being a Raider too as well. Yep. Anytime you had those divisional games, it didn't matter what was going on, whether it was Denver, the Chiefs, or whoever. Like, those games were just typically going to be some hard-fought games. So. But do I think that's what we have to look for? From the question was from the Raiders or
from the Raiders defense?
Yeah, I think that's part of their identity right now, and that's just been something that they've been trying to establish for the last few years there with the different changes and different head coaches and everything else like that. The defense can travel. They brought Devin White in as a linebacker, and one of my former teammates is actually the secondary coach out there too as well, and I know how he gets down and how he coaches. So that defense right now is trying to be, like, I guess you could say, one of the saving graces of that team if they have one, because you said Geno is not the Geno that we saw the past 2 years before he got there.
Geno said they wrote me off, but I didn't write back.
Man.
That letter might have got lost in the mail.
This
one. Don't do that.
Nah, I'm just saying this Geno that's playing, right about now isn't what people thought that it would be. From the Cowboys, like, let's just talk about the Cowboys' offensive perspective a little bit here, because we talked about Max Crosby and stopping Max Crosby. This offense has been a little bit, like I said, staggering the last couple of weeks. It came out the gates against the Philadelphia Eagles and formidable, and then they took off. And even with the absence of CeeDee Lamb, it still was one of the best defenses in the entire football league. What are some of the things they have to do to get back to that? Was it opponent-based? Was it just the ebb and flow of the season? What are some of the things they do to get back to that?
Real quick, before he jumps into it, I really think that what happened was, with the loss of CD, the team had to figure out what they were going to do. All right, they didn't know that George was going to ball out like that, so the balance seemed like that was going to be the best thing we could do. And let's make sure we got some balance. George comes out here and lights this thing on fire. The next thing you know, it was like, okay, well, we got to get CD back into it too as well. And I don't know if it was that changed the balance of what the play calling has been, but just like you said, like, they've gotten away from the run, like, in such a large amount that they were doing before. And now I just think that, like, they honestly got to just try to figure out, okay, George can play, CD can play, but we got to get back to some true balance here. And I'm sorry,
Oh, no, you're good. I mean, honestly, those are my same sentiments as far as not necessarily getting back to it, but trusting yourself. Like, stop playing down. When they go out there, we've seen this offense be the best majority of the time, but we've also seen them play down to their competition regardless of what that is. And so I would just say, get back to playing football. Get back to having fun. Get CD out there doing celebrations with George. Get Javonte getting his touches, moving the ball, running on there. Get that offense aligned to feeling confident. Like, they're going against one guy right now, and just really trust your football, trust the schematics, and use that pressure. But the biggest thing right now is you have to get back to knowing your true identity, because as much as we talk about Max Crosby, we're not talking about this guy right here, Patrick Graham, the defensive coordinator that has a lot of respect around there, that was over there at the Giants for many years and seen guys like Dak Prescott, a young CeeDee Lamb. So he has some familiarity over here, and he's a good defensive coordinator that can make these adjustments. And so he's going to want to use that. He's going to want to use the momentum that he has right now, coming and playing a good defense. Pete Carroll being the defensive dominant head coach, me being around him, I know him. The way that he's going to go in there and talk to them, he's going to say, hey, guys, forget what the record says. Go in here and look what we just did this last week. He's going to show them their highlight tape, make them believe in it and eat it, and say, hey, defense, y'all are the backbone right now. So the Cowboys should be worried about this game, and this can be one of those trap games that makes me a little nervous right now.
All right, so we'll take our last break of the show. When we come back, I want to get a little messy.
Yeah.
Here you go. There you go.
I want to get a little messy because you sparked something that has a little bit of a smoldering heat to it.
Oh, okay.
And so I want to get a little bit messy and see where there's smoke or smoldering, will there be an absolute fire? And if you want to know what that is, you need to stay right here. Come back with us after this break. This is the Players Lounge. We'll be right back.
Life is a workout, and Smoothie King is here to help you power through. Whether you're maxing out overhead presses, pushing through chest flies, or being the hero your golden retriever needs to carry them over that scary bridge, Smoothie King has the fuel to help you go all out. Build muscle and boost your recovery with 45 grams of protein, 0 grams of added sugar, and delicious customizable ingredients in the Gladiator Smoothie. Available in chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. Only at Smoothie King.
Hey there, Cowboys Nation. Kyle Yeomans here, sharing that same team that brought you Buffalo, bringing NFL casino games that show America's team on and off the reels. Aristocrat is changing the game with a new experience. Football fans, this means you can pick your team and play your team. Check out the Cowboys-themed casino games developed by Aristocrat, a proud sponsor of the Dallas Cowboys. Gambling problem? Please contact the U.S. National Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-GAMBLER for 21 and over.
It's game day at Raising Cane's. If you want to order like a champ, it's the action off the field you need to focus on. The only play you're running is chicken. So what combo are you picking? Make it a perfect season. We've got tailgates of hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers and cane sauce, and jugs of freshly made tea and lemonade. All available to order online or on our app. This season is about to be unbeatable. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Hey, Cowboy fans. Keith Davis here, former Cowboys safety.
Keith Davis into the end zone.
You know what separates champions from the rest? Making the right move at the right moment. With blockchain.com, that's never been easier. The Cowboys became America's team by striking bold when it mattered most. Now it's your turn. Invest like your icons with blockchain.com. Visit blockchain.com/Cowboys today to get started and learn more. That's blockchain.com/Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Capture frame-worthy moments on the holiday photo with Santa at the Star, presented by Monument Reality. Santa will be here spreading holiday cheer from November 21st all the way through Christmas Eve. For more information, yes, you heard it. If you didn't hear it because Anthony was laughing, don't worry, I'll say it again. November 21st all the way through Christmas Eve. For more information, to book your visit, head to the Star, district.com/Santa. Not Santana, but Santa. Register before December 7th to save $5. I know you want to save it. Government shutdown. Come on now. Get your money.
That's crazy.
Oh, man.
You see the ad lib. You seen the laughter in the background.
You are good, man.
Thank you.
All right, man. This is the Players Lounge, brought to you by Aristocrat Gaming. I am Jesse Holly, sitting in for Nui Scruggs. Barry is somewhere being rich, as he should. All right, when you're rich, you just do rich stuff. All right. I got DeMontre Moore. I got Anthony Dorsett, and so I told you guys there's been this smoldering. It's not caught fire yet, but it's smoldering. Okay. And you made a comment, AD, and it literally jumped like right to the forefront of my thinking. And so I'm like, you know what? What the hell? Let's get a little messy.
Do it.
Let's get a little messy. And the comment that you made was that when CeeDee Lamb went out with the injury, with the ankle injury that he had got against the Bears, and he missed those 3 or 4 games, George Pickens really ascended and really took off and was the focal point of this passing offense. And some may say that when CeeDee Lamb came back, that balance or that cohesion or that chemistry was kind of not what it was before the injury. And that it may felt like they were kind of, forcing the ball there. And some people, not Jesse Holley, but some people have been saying, we need to focus and make the offensive passing game focused around George Pickens.
Wow.
Not CeeDee Lamb. And so here are some of the numbers. Pickens has a higher catch percentage yards per catch. His yards per game yards per game average is more than Lamb. He's also has 6 touchdowns to Lamb's touchdown. He has a higher PFF grade. So my messy Jesse question to you, AD, to you, DeMontre. Should George Pickens become Dak Prescott's new go-to receiver?
I think that what GP had a favorable advantage of, and don't cancel out what he's done over previous years, but he was not that go-to guy. And so going into a lot of those games, he was not viewed as a CeeDee Lamb type receiver prior to those games. Okay? So he wasn't, hey, we don't got to double that dude all the time. We don't necessarily got to do a whole lot. We don't need to worry so much about him right now. Second game into that that injury with CD, I think that's where people started to take notice and say, okay, well, maybe he is that number one guy. This league is such a what have you done lately for me league that people will tend to forget, exactly who you are and what you're capable of doing. Long story short, to answer the question is, should he be? I think there are games where he definitely should be, and CD should definitely be from time to time. When you have such a two-headed monster like that, I think that you could switch it up and attack him from all different angles, and it doesn't necessarily have to be wrong or right who that guy is on that particular day, just as long as somebody is that guy, all right? And not going to a place where you can't figure out how to make one the guy or the other the guy, that neither one of them actually get to go out there and have prolific type numbers that they can have. So, do I think he should be the main go-to guy? I think that it should be game planned. I think it should be schemed. But I think that, yeah, he definitely should have that option or that benefit every once in a while. Why continue for gamesmanship, as we like to say, continue to make CD the primary dude every game, all game? You know what I mean? So, I think it would give the Cowboys a little bit of competitive advantage to be able to use them both, but trick teams and not know which guy is going to be able to do it. But you got 2 number ones, so why not use 2 number ones when you can?
Coach Schottenheimer had said when they were asking about, not this week, but a couple of weeks ago, maybe even after training camp, and they were talking about the addition of George Pickens and how he and CeeDee Lamb are working in the offense. And Coach Schottenheimer, he said, because the question was about how do you disperse the ball amongst all of these weapons that you now have. You have Ferg, you have CD, you have George, you got Javonte, you have a plethora of weapons that you have into this mix. And Coach Schottenheimer, he said that I got a big call sheet and it's got rings on it, so they flip over, and he was like, well, I got a section that's for CD, and he said that section has more plays on it. Mm-hmm. And he said, I got a section for George Pickens. Now, he has a lot of plays on there, but he doesn't have more plays on there than CeeDee Lamb, and so on and so forth. And so I say to what you said, Jamar Chase in Cincinnati, they get him the ball. And T. Higgins is good.
Yeah.
T. Higgins is perfectly fine. Can probably be a number 1 receiver if he wasn't flanked across that guy.
Yeah.
And for as long as I've been doing this, and CeeDee Lamb has been in the league, especially over the last couple of years, he's been grouped in with those guys. He's been grouped in with the CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. When Tyreek Hill was Tyreek Hill, you could say Amon-Ra St. Brown. CeeDee Lamb's name has always been in that conversation. never has George Pickens. Never. Never. Ever. Ever.
I will say this, all right? CD he proved me wrong, okay? Because as we always say, well, not always, but as we've said in here before, Cowboys talent is always a little bit overrated from time to time, okay? And so that being said, like I didn't see CD being what he is today, all right? Now, the only argument I can make for George before he got here, he didn't have a Dak Prescott. He didn't have a scheme like this. He didn't have. He just wasn't on the right team, and he wasn't getting those.
And my to use one of your words, your phrases, my devil's advocate to that is, CeeDee Lamb had 1,700 yards, over 135 catches, and he ain't had no George Pickens across from him. So he had, and it was, we jokingly said here, it was CD and a bunch of maybes. So he was getting the double teams. He was getting the safety shedding to his side of the field.
Had Justin Fields throwing him the ball and like Mason Rudolph or somebody like that, bro.
That's a fair argument. It's a fair argument. It's a fair argument. And so I come to you, Trey. I've presented the question. We've heard one side of it. You heard my side of it.
I mean, I heard your side, but so what are you saying? You're saying no. You don't think.
I've been saying
so.
Since
You
day
saying
one.
Respect?
I've been saying this since day one. To me, this is just Jesse Holly. This is not. This is. I mean, look in the camera. This is. My opinions do not reflect Newey Scruggs, Barry Church, DeMontre Moore, Anthony Dorsett. My opinions reflect me, and I stand on them. They don't have two number ones here. They got one, and they got a really, 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 really good number two. Okay. CeeDee Lamb is the number one. CeeDee Lamb has shown you time and CeeDee Lamb was still out there last year with one arm, with a backup quarterback, when he could have easily shut it down. When it wasn't playoffs, wasn't even nowhere near in sight. And he went out there week in and week out.
Had he been paid?
With Jalen Tolbert on the other side, and Jake Ferg wasn't on his team, was hurt.
I don't know people who shut it down, bro. Like I hear you say that, like he could have shut it down.
Oh, they shut it. Oh, people shut it down.
Yeah, but those aren't the football players that we talk about.
It actually is though. It actually is.
A lot of
There's
dudes
a lot of guys
shut it down.
You've seen Tyreek Hill shut
and
it down.
He went out there. He went out there and put up some more good numbers with the backup quarterback and no opposite receiver. The season was pretty much cooked. And he just went out there and went to work every single day. So I've been saying this. I stand on this, and this is I haven't waffled from this. I ain't rode the fence about this since training camp. I think George is an exceptional player.
I think CD is good. Let me shut up. Go ahead.
Like I said, I think George is an exceptional player. I think he has my Liam Nielsen, whatever his name is, he has a particular set of skills that he's really good at.
Liam Nielsen.
Right? Liam Nielsen. CeeDee Lamb is the better overall receiver.
Okay.
To me. I'll give it to you, DeMontre.
I know I'm just a defensive guy and this and that, but like you said, you mentioned earlier, what have you done for me lately as the league? It's been the league since the league has started. You're only good as your last rep. And in your last rep, hear me out, America. I stand on mine. You can go look up the film. Chris Beam could talk about it in the back. But how many times have I been laying it up, asking questions week in and week out? When do we give this to George? And I say that to say that George right now is the number one. He has the hot hand. Just like in basketball, you don't get off of the shooter's hand right now. The guy, yes, you pay CD to do all this, but if you truly believe in what you said and what you force-fed to the media, saying this is a 1A and a 1B.
No, I didn't force it.
No, not you. Not you. But CD, this came out of CD's mouth. This came out of Shotty's mouth. This came out of everybody's mouth but George. George did nothing but come in here, be quiet, work, and put in the extra effort to say, hey, I'm going to show y'all what I am. And now that he has a quarterback, he's doing all those things. And when I look at George right now, where he's going with his momentum, he gives me a young Mike Evans. He's going out there. He's the guy that's the air up there. He's bringing the energy. He's going out there blocking people and telling people 6'7", like I'm catching a body while doing that. Like with CD, yes, he can catch. Yes, he can run every route on the tree and you can move him around. But guess what? You score a touchdown. George is doing that by far. He's blocking by far, and he's the energizer. Why would you say, hey, man, let me diminish this because this guy has the big name contract? Let me diminish this because we're force-feeding CD to be in those conversations right now. Go with the hot hand. Get you what was doing, because guess what? When George was your number one, the offense was doing good. When CD came back and George was still, quote-unquote, getting fed those numbers and doing that, CD was doing better. So right now, lead. Go with your leading horse.
You've had an opportunity to watch CD work since he's been here. Mm-hmm. And like right here on the field. Mm-hmm. You ain't had that with George. You haven't seen it. So like, and then what you've seen is you've seen the different opportunities that CD has got because you're right here. We haven't seen the playbook, the play calls, or anything like that George has had, or the opportunities that he's had. So I think that what honestly has to happen, and I think that, like how you said, America, I'm standing on my, I think you're a little bit judgmental right now based off of what you've been able to see of one and not of the other. You got a whole book of one.
But I watched both.
Watch what?
I watched both of them.
Not the same amount, though.
You ain't had the day in, day out of George. You've had him since training camp.
Right.
All right? And so then George being George, understanding like I'm in a new situation. I'm not the man here, so I'm sure like he didn't come in with that type of attitude. Now,
I can watch and tell who's the better route runner.
You can.
Well, yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
Okay,
that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about
you can run routes all day, but it's about catching the ball and getting open. And like I don't care. I see dudes running routes all day, obstacle courses. These dudes, and I know them routes ain't getting open. Now, when it comes down to it, the contested catches and what George has been able to do since he's been here. He's played like a number one, just like he said. You know what I mean? And so that goes on to say. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to stand on this. Mm-hmm. CD's numbers are CD's numbers. He got some awesome numbers, but he's not a Jamar Chase. He's not. He's just not. And Jamar Chase is totally different to me when it comes to a lot of receivers. But he got those numbers, and he's right up there with him, all right? Now, I'm looking at give George Pickens the opportunity minus the CD Lamb here. All right, and put CD in Pittsburgh, and let's see what they actually. So let's compare that. You know what I mean? And let's honestly let's give George the opportunity to have the opportunities that CD has had, because he hasn't had them since he's been here or anywhere else.
Can we take it a step further to I guess help your case? I agree with what he's saying, but what is the big thing that everybody go do right now to check your credibility and how good you are? PFF. PFF goes.
Not me.
Not you, but I'm saying most people, when you make these lists and talk about these top receivers, you go, and with PFF, the way that you judge America, with the PFF, y'all should know, you go for your production to play ratio. If you're looking at that ratio and what CD has gotten over his overall body of work, and like you said, AD, from what we've seen in this little bit of George in this year, like it's all been good. I feel like the potential and the ceiling is a lot higher because we haven't seen all this. This is his first year in the offense. This is the first year with a good quote unquote top 5 quarterback in the league. So I think the ceiling is higher for him to where it's like you said, I've seen CD already for these plethora of years here with Dak, with the backups, and in the Dallas environment. Let me fan that fire right there. You got Amber, you got the smolder going over there with George. Why not see what you really have? So at the end of the year, when it comes that time, are you going to tag him? Are you really going to pay him like a number one? Or is it going to be a Jamar Chase and a T. Higgins type situation? You don't know right now.
Man, I just say, I hear
numbers lie.
You know what I'm saying? You feel like, and
numbers don't lie.
And CD is very versatile. Line up everywhere. If they don't,
I'm sorry. I don't want to interrupt you.
CD very versatile. Line up everywhere, but George is putting up them numbers from just being able to line up outside.
You said numbers don't lie. Well, if numbers don't lie, you're not going to make your number one guy that's leading the team in touchdowns and having the momentum and stuff like that. If numbers don't lie, that means that he's clearly the number one right now.
No, it doesn't. He's consistently because the other number is 4. That's how many games that CD Lamb has missed because he got hurt. Mm-hmm. No,
availability is the best ability.
I hear what you're saying, but like It's not like he was doing this and CeeDee Lamb was just over there not doing anything.
Hey, so who did George have opposite him when CD wasn't there? Because you said, CD went out and put these numbers up where he ain't had nobody opposite him. George went up there and put them numbers where he ain't had nobody opposite him either.
Yeah, he had Ferg.
He had Ferg was playing. He had a running game that was going.
Okay.
And
Ferg was here last year too, right?
Flournoy.
And Flournoy.
Flournoy
So
been emerging.
Yeah, Flournoy on the other side. When Ferg got hurt, remember Ferg got hurt last year. He had the knee.
So who
and
was
he had
last
the
year that played? Who was the receiver last year that was?
It was Jalen Tolbert.
Okay, Tolbert. Oh yeah, what's
The year before that, it was Tolbert. So I don't know. I listen.
It's debatable.
No,
it's debatable.
Is anybody wrong?
No, it's all
debatable.
It's all opinions.
It's all opinions.
It's all opinions. Right. And that's America.
Yep.
We get to have our own opinions.
Don't mean that we're all
Whether
right.
you like them or not, we get to have them.
Who you think the harder cover is? If you was a DB,
CeeDee Lamb, all day long. All day long.
I would agree. I agree with that.
As a DB, you would much rather have to deal with a dude who's only going to run 3 routes, 4 at max, than a dude who has the entire repertoire that you have to deal with.
Only time it gets tough is when you honestly start to move inside. Moving inside makes things a little bit different. But this dude has a great ratio of contested catches.
And CeeDee
so you can be
doesn't.
upfield shoulder, downfield shoulder on George. It don't matter.
CeeDee, y'all forget the contested catches that CeeDee Lamb has made, diving catches.
I do forget.
Remember the Matrix one that he had in Minnesota?
It's what have you done for me lately?
Remember the Matrix one he had in Minnesota? Remember him going across the middle? There's a ton of them. There's a ton of them.
Was that this year?
I love when receivers and DBs getting.
Was that Minnesota catch this year?
No, you just but you're going off of the history of George making the 50-50 catches. Yes,
this year I'm talking about the ones he's made since he's been in the building.
Nobody's wrong.
All right, yeah, we ain't saying that.
We're all right.
Like DBs and
But
wide
listen,
receivers talking.
I knew it would flame up some of the smoke.
I love it.
I knew it would flame up some of the smoke. And so that's a great thing. And we'll continue to watch them. And honestly, and I know this means for everybody in here, honestly, we hope both of them have spectacular years. Because if they're hooping and they're balling, the Cowboys offense is out of this world. So we're just having the conversation. And that's what this is a debate type of thing at times. You get, if we all agreed all the time, then what fun would that be? That's no fun. But, all right, man, this is the Players Lounge for DeMontre Moore, for Anthony Dorsett. I am Jesse Holly. Hopefully we'll have Rich Barry Church back tomorrow. Newell will be out for the rest of the week. And I hope that you return for us to tomorrow because we're going to have some more locker room type conversations. And I might stroke up a little bit more Messy Jesse and see who's going to stand on what tomorrow, man. All right. Thank you guys so much. That's it for us, man. We out of here. Peace.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?